Allah's name Al-Wadud, only used twice in the Quran. And only used in a very, very specific context. Surah Al-Buruj, this is the context it was used in. Who can tell me what is Surah Al-Buruj about? A group of people who believed in Allah, and their people rejected this belief from them. They were outcast. And because they rejected this belief, the people of that city, of that area, they dug a huge ditch, a huge hole. They threw these people in and they burned them alive. This is the story. In these verses in Surah Al-Buruj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions a list of His names, one after the other, and He has not done that in this Juz Amma, other than this part of Surah Al-Buruj. وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْمَوْعُودِ. I swear by the sky with its constellations. And I swear by the day that is promised. وَشَاهِدٍ وَمَشْهُودٍ. And I swear by the witness and what was witnessed. قُتِلَ أَصْحَابُ الْأُخْدُودِ. The people of the ditch were murdered. النَّارِ ذَاتِ الْوَقُودِ. A blazing fire full of fuel, coal and stones. إِذْ هُمْ عَلَيْهَا قُعُودٌ. And there were people sitting, watching and enjoying the sight of the believers burning alive. وَهُمْ عَلَى مَا يَفْعَلُونَ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ شُهُودٌ. And they are witnessing and watching what is happening to the believers. وَمَا نَقَمُوا مِنْهُمْ. They had no issue with these men, these people who were in the ditch. إِلَّا أَن يُؤْمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ. There was only one problem. Why do you believe in Allah? Al-Aziz al-Hamid. The most mighty, the one who is worthy of praise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing a people who are suffering and burning alive. Why? Why would they do that? Why would they give their life for Allah? Because of their love of Allah. This is the secret. How many people are there in today's world today? In the north of India, being slaughtered because they are wearing a hijab. In Uyghur in China, being put into concentration camps to reprogram them. How many people in Algeria died under the French occupation out of their tawheed of Allah? How many people are burning alive, being chopped to pieces, being tortured, and nobody here knows a single name from these people's names? We don't know them. We have no clue who they are. Their whole life was a life of misery, burning, being killed, being tortured until the day that they died. Surah Al-Buruj is a story about these people exactly. The people who suffer and sacrifice for the sake of Allah. There was a story in the news about 30 years ago. And this happens often. That there was a young man who needed a kidney transplant. And because of the blood type, it was impossible to find any match. Anybody to donate their kidney to this person. And this person's father had one kidney. And he knew if he donated this kidney, that means he will take his own life. But out of the love of his son, he gave a part of his body so his son could live, and he let himself die. How many parents there are in this room who would give their life for their child, would give their heart for their child? Take my kidney, take my arm, take my heart, take it. How many parents think like that? The greatest form and expression of love, the greatest, is sacrifice. And we are now coming to the month of Qurbani, the month of sacrifice. And that is why the Prophet of Allah, who is described as the greatest lover of Allah, Khalilur Rahman, is who? Ibrahim alayhi salam. And how do you know that Ibrahim alayhi salam is the closest to Allah of all the prophets? And the greatest, and he is named the father of the prophets. How do we know? What is it that made his love of Allah so special? Is the S word, sacrifice. This is today's lesson. If you would like to reach the level of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loving you more than He loves any of His creation, you have to be willing to sacrifice.